This is the highest mileage Nissan Ariya in the United States, and it has had the doors ripped off, it has hit a ladder, and it has been rear-ended by a motorcycle. What? The Nissan Ariya was the first electric SUV that Nissan released in the United States back in 2023. And this Ariya is a Premier, which was kind of the launch edition for the Ariya. What is the Ariya? The Ariya is Nissan's small to mid-size electric SUV, and when it came out, it was very important at the time as it debuted a ton of new technology. If you get inside the Ariya, it's got the dual 12.3-inch screens that have now made its way into other Nissans. And it also was one of the first vehicles in the US, actually the first, with a hands-free ProPilot system. So who was the Nissan Ariya made for? Well, me. I use mine to commute to work, but a ton of different people bought them for multiple different reasons. Whether you were a low mileage driver or you wanted something extremely efficient, obviously being electric, to commute with, that's kind of who bought the Ariya. Murano drivers were a great customer base for the Ariya, as your typical Murano driver isn't a high mileage driver. I myself have had 3 Nissan Ariyas that I strictly use for commuting. So let's talk about who bought this Nissan Ariya. The owner of this Nissan Ariya is a retired gentleman who actually uses it for Uber and Lyft. This replaced a gasoline car, and the reasoning behind that was he drives so much that being able to charge his car every night, not have to worry about maintenance or worry about gas, this made it a great option for his personal business. And fun fact, this is not his only Ariya. He has another Ariya with 80,000 miles. So this man has a combined over 200,000 miles on a Nissan Ariya. That is absolutely nuts. Now let's talk about everything that this Ariya has been through. Now we're not going to talk about mechanical things because that will come a little bit later, but this car has been through some stuff. And let's talk about the front. Shortly after the owner purchased this Ariya, a ladder just happened to fly off the highway and he just happened to run over it. So that was the start of his Ariya ownership, was seeing how tough this was compared to a ladder. And like I had mentioned, the owner of this Ariya uses it for Uber and Lyft, and one lovely day at the airport here in beautiful Phoenix, he had someone just annihilate the passenger side of his car. So from the front to the back, the entire side of this Ariya was just smashed in, but as you can see, it still looks beautiful in the Northern Lights. Now this is the Nissan Aerodisc, and it was designed to help with airflow and efficiency. But as you can see, some of these Aerodiscs have gone off to live another life because they are no longer part of this wheel. Now let's not forget the back of this Ariya has been plowed into as well. Shortly after the ladder incident, the back of this car got run into by a motorcyclist. Thankful the motorcyclist is safe and sound, but the back of the Ariya, of course, had to have more bodywork. Now it's time to look under the hood of this Ariya and see all of that space. Frunk yeah. Now, if you have not seen underneath the hood of a Nissan Ariya, well, there is no frunk. There is no space. That's what this is. You are looking at an all-electric motor and your simple car battery. But the people that buy the Ariya don't necessarily need that frunk space, as there is tons of cargo room in the back of the Ariya. And speaking of cargo room back here, there is enough room for one full-size 6'3" Nismo Nick in the back of a Nissan Ariya. One thing I want to highlight about the Nissan Ariya is the back seat. The owner of this Ariya uses it specifically for Uber and Lyft, and what makes it a great vehicle for that are a few things actually. I have my own climate vents, I have my own rear heated seats, and I have my own phone charging, Type-C as well. But the biggest thing back here is the room. I am 6'3", I am not touching, and I am not touching. And this Ariya is equipped with a panoramic sunroof, which can sometimes rob room, but oh no, not the Nissan Ariya. Now that I've climbed into the driver's seat of this Nissan Ariya, let's talk about exactly how many miles are on it. And according to this, it says 129,000 372 miles. And I am for certain that this is the highest mileage Nissan Ariya in the country and probably the world. It's just wild to me. Most people don't drive their gasoline cars 129,000 miles in 10 years. And here we are in 2 years of ownership with 129,000 miles. That is absolutely wild. So let's talk about EV ownership. Everybody is, oh, EVs aren't going to last. You can't drive EVs every day. They're going to overheat. They catch fire, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think that this Nissan Ariya is a really good example of how EVs can hold up to, I wouldn't call it abuse, but this car's been through some stuff. Multiple accidents, 130,000 miles in what, 2 years? I mean, it's been through it and it drives like a brand new car. The alignment is perfect. The braking is perfect. The acceleration is still there. This car drives like a brand new car, and I think that Nissan should be pretty proud of what they did with the Ariya. And I think all the skeptics with just not only Nissan, which there are some, but with the electric car in general, kind of calm down, because these things are made to last. Now, we've talked about the exterior of the Ariya and everything that it's been through, but let's talk about how the car has held up on the inside. And as you can see, it still looks pretty new. Even though there's been hundreds of people in the back seat, there's no wear on any part of the seat surface or those door panels, and I'm not exaggerating. The only wear is around the steering wheel. You can see where the leather has kind of started to turn that shiny wear over time, but that's because this man constantly drives this car. But even the driver's seat, the bolstering is bolstering, it's still there. There's no rips, there's no tears, the floor mats have held up. It's amazing to see what this electric Nissan has been through and how great of a condition it's still in. Can you believe that y'all just saw a Nissan Ariya with 130,000 miles? Now, you guys are used to big Ultimate energy, but this might be big Ariya energy. I don't know. It might be time to put another 130,000 miles on this all-electric Nissan EV. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for whatever I film next. See y'all later.